Krishna, yes, Ram. Welcome all of you all for our weekly Valmiki Ramayan class. So we have completed chapter number 1. Sarga 1 is completed, and we are starting with Sarga 2 today. So before we go to Sarga 2, let's have a fast recap of what we discussed in Sarga 1. What was starting of the Valmiki Ramayan and how did it start? Yes, anyone who has been following our class from the day 1 would be interested in answering this question. Anyone remembers?
The very difference between God and devotees started with that.
No. First it was God and devotee, but who was the first thing? What is the conversation start between whom? Sage Valmiki and sage Narada. Narad Muni appeared. So he asked, for the first verse he asked, Tapasya Swadhya Niratam Tapasvi Vadvigambaram Naradam Pariprachayam Valmiki Muni Pangavam. So Valmiki Muni asked Narad Muni, no, Valmiki Muni asked Narad Muni, please, I want to ask you because you are highly educated, you are learned, you are a tapasvi, you are a vadvigam, and above all, you are a nirantam. You are doing nirantam. Nirantam means one who does swadhyay, everything nirantam. Nirantam means always. No, we people have got a habit. Mornings we are sometimes, for some time we are in a spiritual mood, and then again we come to our true colors, which is non-spiritual. Okay, but whereas with respect to Narad Muni, what makes him special? He is always in the focused in a spiritual mood. That's why it is Nirantam. So that is why, and always doing tapasya. He's always in this thing and Swadhyaya, study of Vedas. He's always in study of Vedas. So he's asking him. And what question did he ask him? Very important question. Komna aswin sampraptam loke gunavan kasya viryavan dharmagyasya कृतज्ञस्य सत्यवाक्यो दृढ़वतः चैत्रेण च को युथा सर्वभूत को हितः विद्वान का समृतस्य कश्च प्रियदर्शिनः आत्मावान को जितक्रोधः द्युतिमान को अनुसूयकः कस्य बिभेति देवस जातरोषस्य samyuge. So he asked all these qualities, 16 qualities of Lord. He asked, and we have discussed all the 16 qualities. Each quality is Gunvan, Viryavan, Dharmagyasya, Kritagyasya, Satyavakyo, Dridavataha, Charitrene, Sarvabhuteshu Hitaha, Vidvan, Samratasya, Priyadarshinaha, Atmavan, Jitakrodaha, Dutivan, Anusuyakaha, and last is Kashya Biveti Devascha. So we discuss all this at large. That is the 16 qualities. Speciality of these qualities is everyone may have a little bit of these qualities in humans, may be there, but nowhere you will find all these qualities present in one place in one person. So this what makes this qualities so special, and few are contradictory. It's like having heat and cold together in the same bottle. It's not possible. Either it will be hot or cold. But that what makes these qualities make God or Lord Rama special. So he's asking, in this world, who is there? And then he describes, yes, there is one. What you have asked, those qualities are very difficult to find, but still there is one who is having all these qualities. And then he mentions about Lord Rama, who is the son of Dashratha, and then he starts describing the entire details of how the Ramayana went through. So he starts from Ayodhya Kand, when Rama was, sent by Kaikeyi to the forest, and then up till the end, till they win the war and they come back, getting back Sita, the whole thing was discussed. This was the brief gist of chapter 1 of Ayodhya Kand, Balkand, or the first chapter of Ramayana itself. So now today we'll go to the second chapter. So there already Valmiki has interacted with Narad Muni. Here we will see Valmiki will be interacting with Lord Brahma himself. And how that will happen? Let's start with the chapter. So, Sarga 2, arrival of Brahma. So, having heard the words of Deva Rishi Narada, the righteous sage Valmiki, who was expert in speaking the Shastra, worshipped Narada along with his disciples. So, that is the etiquette which we have got to know. See, the entire Ramayana is nothing but a pictorial form of the Vedas. जो वेद हमको आदेश देते हैं, उन आदेशों का कैसे समझना है, उन आदेशों को कैसे समझना है, उसका एक कहानी स्वरूप है. So in this, if you entire Ramayana, you will see time and again, you will see various ideas or various injunctions of the Shastra is given with respect to, in the form of a story or in form of a situation in the story. Like here, Narad Muni has given this entire Ramayana story, he has explained to him, and he is about to go. That time, having heard the words of Devarishi Narada, the righteous sage Valmiki, who is expert in speaking the Shastra, that's one quality which a guru should have, worshipped Narada along with his disciples. He didn't worship alone, along with his disciples. So the explanation goes like this. In our Shastra, it is said that only way a disciple can repay for all that his spiritual master, teacher, or a guru is by perfectly worshipping him. हम लोग क्यों नमस्ते करते हैं? When we see our seniors or teachers, why do we fold our hands, or we do dandavat pranam? Why? What is the purpose? It is said that the knowledge given by the spiritual master, the teacher, the guru is priceless. You can go and fix a price for something material. Every material thing has got a price. Even gold has a price. It's costly, but it has a price. You can possess it by giving that money. You can possess gold. You can possess silver. You can possess anything. Your phone, iPhone, whatever, name it. Everything you can possess. But for what you get from the spiritual master, the knowledge of God, the details about God, the way to achieve God is so rare, so difficult, so priceless, that even if you want to give, there is nothing at par with it. उसके तुल्य, उसके बराबर, उसके सम में कोई चीज नहीं है जो आप गुरु को दक्षिणा में दे सकते. इसके लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं? जैसे गुरु देखे उनको प्रणाम करते हैं. वही एक चीज है जो हमारे देने योग्य है और गुरु को देना ही चाहिए. We are supposed to give this to the spiritual master. That is the reason why it is always said that whenever one sees the spiritual master, he should immediately fall down and pay his obeisances. Another important thing, in one of the incident when once Srila Prabhupada was at Juhu, and when he entered, suddenly all the disciples, they fell down at his feet, offering obeisances. One person did not fall down. He was just standing and just bending his hands. Prabhupada lifted his walking stick and pointed at him and told him, from today, your fall down has started. That strong is the power of not paying your obeisances to the spiritual master. So here, great sage Valmiki himself is spiritually elevated. He is not a small person. What is the word used? Vakya Visharadaha. That means a righteous sage who is expert in speaking the Shastra. He is also knowledgeful. He is also Jnani. He is also a person who is doing a lot of austerities. But still, that person, what is he doing? He is paying obeisance to his spiritual master. So at any stage of your life, at whatever stage you may progress in your life, whenever you see your spiritual master, one should bow down, one should pay obeisances to him and seek his blessings. And this is the only way you can show your humble respect to. The next verse, 1.2.2. After being worshipped in a befitting manner by Valmiki, Narada, the sages of the Devatas, asked permission to leave. On being granted permission, Narada went towards heaven. Higher planets doesn't mean only heaven. He can go. That is the best part, नारद मुनि के पास इंटरनेशनल वीजा है. इंटरनेशनल मतलब हम तो धरती के अंदर ही घूम सकते हैं, but he can go anywhere in any loka. Interloka visa he has got. That's the best part of it. After Narada departed to the world of the Devatas, sage Valmiki proceeded to the bank of river Tamasa, which was not far off from river Janvi or Ganga. Ganga river के नजदीक ही था वाल्मीकि मुनि's ashram se. That was Tamasa river. And the great sage Valmiki stood on the shore of river Tamasa, and seeing the crystal clear water, he spoke to his disciples. Valmiki said, "O Bharadwaja," what does this mean? Bharadwaj Muni was his disciple. और वाल्मीकि मुनि का डिसाइपल कौन थे? भरद्वाज मुनि. This shore of clear water that you look at is very beautiful. This clear water is as pleasing as the mind of a noble and virtuous man. Shuddha Jal. He is comparing that with the mind of a virtuous and a noble person. What is Valmiki trying to say? Now somebody may say, what is the use of this verse? क्या जरूरत है? ठीक है, पानी था, शुद्ध पानी था, ठीक है, शुद्ध पानी था. So what is the need for comparing it with the mind of a noble or a virtuous person? So who is a noble and a virtuous person? The tragedy in today's date is, if someone comes new to your town or city or even to your village and asks you, यहाँ का बड़ा व्यक्ति कौन है? Who is a big person in your village, in your town? Whom will you direct that person to? By default, we all can direct him to the richest man of the village, town, or city. That's the mindset we have. That he is the richest man of our village, he is the richest man of our landlord of the village, whatever you call it. But here we have to understand, a true great person is a sadhu or a sage. Why? He is having two qualities. He is righteous and is fixed in his focus of achieving God. Only two focuses they have. One is focused on dharma, righteousness. अगर उस पर टिका नहीं रहा तो भी गड़बड़ है. अच्छा, उस पर टिका रहा, but he is not focused on God, that is also dangerous. And least do we bother to such a person, if at all, if someone exists in the village or town, do we direct person to? A great person means a person who is virtuous. Person means who is noble, one who is righteous. But it is saying that this crystal clear water refers to a righteous person, a virtuous person. What does this mean? It clearly indicates only a person who is righteous, virtuous, or noble, his thought process is as clear as a crystal clear water. Clear means his focus is very resolute. He wants to achieve God and nothing else in this world. He doesn't say, भगवान के साथ में थोड़ा धन भी कमा लेता हूँ, थोड़ा नाम, प्रतिष्ठा, वाहवाही, तारीफ, ये सब भी मैं ले लेता हूँ. No, he's very clear. He wants only one thing, and that is how to achieve God. Second, most important, he doesn't have any bad things moving in his head, in his mind. Bad means like meditating, intoxication, illicit sex, gambling. Those thoughts do not arise in such a mind. The minds of people generally is full of desires. There's a very nice definition of the word Bhavasagar. Generally, people say, no, Bhavasagar. You must have heard this terminology, right? इस भवसागर को पार करना है, भगवान ही हमको तराएंगे इस भवसागर से. There are two explanations to this. One is, bhava means again, to repeat. Means what? If you go and stand the shore of the sea, you will see the waves coming. One wave comes. Before it dies, the next wave is ready to come. बस लहर के पीछे लहर आते रहते हैं. And does it stop at any time? Okay, for half an hour there is not going to be any waves. No, it is continuous. The only difference, there may be high tide, there may be low tide, but there is always at no moment in the sea, anywhere globally, in any coast you go and see, there will be always some tide, some wave coming. What does this mean? This is also referred to our mind. Our mind is also having waves and waves and waves of desires. You get up in the morning, oh, today I will have I'll buy a nice dress for myself. I'll buy a nice phone. I'll buy a nice, food to eat. Something is always there. Waves of desire, waves of sense gratification is there. And our intelligence also working behind it. How to fulfill that desire of sense gratification. Second, these waves also indicate our repeated cycle of birth and death. Can anyone tell me how many births we all have taken till now? None of us can say. आज तक जितने जन्म लिए हैं उतने बार मरे भी. Because every birth is followed by a death. And the tragedy is every death is followed by a. So what do Acharya say? It is unlimited cycle of birth and death. आज तक कुछ अंत ही नहीं हुआ है इस भव सागर का. जैसे लहरें कभी अंत नहीं होता ना, हमारे जन्म मृत्यु, our birth and death, our process, our cycle of birth and death never comes to an halt, never comes to a standstill. Though we have got desires coming, it comes and goes. For our next desire, our birth comes and goes as a desire. So that is why Bhava Sagar means that which comes repeated. You all must have seen one photograph, a person is being drowned in the sea, and suddenly someone comes his hand and pulls him out. Acharya has given another definition of this very nicely. The sea consists of small drops. How many drops are there? Can you count? Unlimited drops in the sea. उसी तरह है हमारे, अगर आज तक का जीवन देखें ना, the number of lives and number of births we have taken, if we take the collective total of all the desires in each life. Mind you, desire means from the cradle to the grave. Everyone has got desires. The type may be different. The child may be desiring, oh, let me eat some nice chocolate. A small child is waiting when I will get to drink a cold drink, when I will get an ice cream. It's like this 24 hours. The mind is like, next. That's why people in the morning, when you get up, what is the desire first thing? Chai pi. What is the first desire comes? Chai. But it's not the last desire. After that, next, oh, let me have some breakfast to eat. Okay, let me have some nice, today what will I have? The nice joke on WhatsApp which I led last week. आज घर पे खाना क्या बना है? आज आप क्या खाओगे? Every wife asks children, or the mother asks the children, or the wife asks the husband, आज क्या खाओगे? So this has been declared as a national problem. National problem. Every house has the same problem. आज क्या खाएं? With sabji to eat. That means what? Anyone says, no, हम तो अभी ज्ञानी बन गए, हम तो अभी वाल्मीकि रामायण पढ़ रहे हैं, हम तो भगवत गीता पढ़ रहे हैं, भागवतम पढ़ रहे हैं, कुछ भी खिलाओ, बस खाना है, पेट भरना है. Then our choices come into picture. I don't like bhindi ki sabji, I don't like this sabji, I like that sabji, make that sabji. Then if there are two members, there is a fight in the house on what sabji to make, and finally a third sabji is made, all given in sin. What does this mean? A drop of desire is there from morning to night. New drops of desires have been created, and that is why we are drowned in an ocean of so much of desires. Each drop represents one desire. So imagine the amount of desires we all have in our heart and mind. Right from a child to an old man. You go ask an old man, are you free from desires? Have you achieved all your desires? Nahi, beta. कुछ चीजें मैं अचीव करना चाहता था. I wanted to achieve some things, but I could not achieve it, or I could not get it. So what does this mean? This only means we are all perpetually desiring to have our desires fulfilled. Everyone is having a desire to have his desires fulfilled. So that is the reason why, Valmiki makes very small, minute details very clear. Why? What is the need for him to see the water and see the crystal clearness of the water and make a statement? See, this is like the mind of the noble and who are virtuous, those who are righteous. मतलब क्या है? व्यक्ति जो हमेशा भगवान पर निरंतर लगा रहता है, who is always thinking about God, how will he behave? For him, wrong thoughts or dirty thoughts will not come in his mind. So here a question will arise, sir, we are all going to office doing some job. How can we do that? We can't leave our job and sit in the house and हाथ में करताल लेके हरे कृष्णा करें, हरे सीताराम करें और सिर्फ माला करते हैं. No, it's not possible. What do we do? How can we always look into God or remember God? It's very simple. Acharyas give a very simple example. If you want to keep your mind clear, you got to focus on God. But definitely at the same time, you need to go to your office for your bread, butter, jam, cheese, whatever you call it. So how do you do that? You are conscious about God in whatever work you do. Now to explain this a little more elaborately, I'll give an example. Let's imagine the mother's love for his child. How much a mother loves a child? It's unlimited. You can't measure it. So how does she express it? The child has gone to office or school, and the mother has gone to office. But sitting in the office, the mother is thinking about the child. What must be a child doing? I prepared a nice dabba for him. Did he eat that? Whatever I had prepared for him, or did he throw it, or did it fall down? She's always conscious. Though she is doing some work. And the best part of it is, let's say she comes home and the child comes from the tuition or the school and tells, Mom, I'm very hungry. Please prepare some food for me. मेरे लिए कुछ खाना बनाओ. भूख लगा है मुझे. And the mother says, okay, fine. Give me half an hour. I'll cook something for you fast, real fast. And what does the mother do? Make them child sit in front of the TV, put some cartoon or something, and makes them sit. And just for half an hour, 40 minutes, she forgets the whole world. Focused for the child, she is busy cooking. She's busy cooking without seeing the whole world, what is happening in the world. She only thinks of cooking and cooking with a taste which the child will relish. जो बच्चे को अच्छा लगेगा वो स्वाद से माँ खाना बनाती है. उस वक्त बच्चे को याद नहीं करती. She is not remembering the child. She is remembering only, oh, what masala I have to put, what I have to put, what ingredients I have to put. I mean, how much of chili powder has to be put. Everything is only focused. She's not thinking about the child. But she knows the purpose of her work is for the child. Similarly, Arjuna, Krishna is telling Arjuna, remember me and fight. Mam anusmarana yuddha cha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mam anusmarana yuddha cha. Remember me and fight. How is it possible? Remembering God, he has to fight. And in the war, if he skips even a split second, and the enemy's arrow will come and hit him. So he has to be fully cautious or aware or vigilant while fighting the war. Which direction, which arrow will come, he doesn't know. So how will Arjuna do? And what is the full? He is giving all the conditions also. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmarana yuddhacha. At all times, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, all times and at all directions, remember me and fight. And then he's saying, Tasma yuddhiswa karma kaushalam. That is karma kaushalam. Don't worry, you fight. How is it possible? It's very much possible. When he is fighting for the sake of Krishna, when he is fighting for the sake of dharma, He is focused on only and only on God. And that is the mind of a virtuous person. A virtuous person is not a dead mind. People generally talk on, नहीं आपके मन में विचार नहीं आने चाहिए. विचार नहीं आएंगे, ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. There can be no mind which can exist without thinking. Only a brain dead person or a person who is dead, only his brain will not send any, emit any signals. A person, anyone who is alive, his brain will think. And thinking means willing, feeling will happen. You will will for something, you want something, you'll feel for someone. No, yeah, you'll miss someone, whatever it is, the mind is always thinking. So what Valmiki ji is trying to tell over here, very clear. Your mind should be clear as a virtuous person. Means your mind should not float or should not float around dirty things, wrong advices, wrong things. It should be only and only focused on Lord. And do your work. All work is possible thinking about the work. All correct work, good work. If you want to drink, you want to eat meat, if you want to do illicit sex, you want to do gambling, for these things, you will have to throw God out of your life and then do all these nonsense. And there's a very nice joke. एक बार एक साधु जा रहा, तो the person fell at his feet. Said, महाराज आशीर्वाद दीजिए, आप तो महान तपस्वी हैं, त्यागी हैं. नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं. नहीं महाराज, you are really great. You have left the entire world only focused on God. You have got a great thing. You're a great person. Undoubtedly, you have left the whole world, all worldly desires, worldly thinking, and you're only focused on God. Immediately the sadhu said, no, you are a bigger tapasvi than me. He said, you are a bigger tapasvi than me. Asked, sir, how can I be a bigger tapasvi than you? Yes, you are definitely a bigger tapasvi than me. For the sake of God, I left the whole world, but you left God for the sake of the whole. बड़ा कौन है? दुनिया एक पल्ले में, भगवान एक पल्ले में, कौन सा पल्ला भारी रहे? Definitely the palla which is having God, because God only is the creator of the world. So definitely God is greater. The creator is always greater than the creation. So the sadhu said very nicely, yes, you are greater than me because I left the world for the sake of God, but you left God for the sake of this world. And that's what happens. Why we want to limit God in our life? The only reason we want to limit God in our life is we are happy. God at bay is good. भगवान ज्यादा अगर जीवन में आ जाएंगे, then what is the problem? I can't do nonsense. Because consciousness pricks, अंदर से आवाज आती है ना? कभी भी आप कुछ गलत कार्य करते हो तो अंदर से आवाज आती है, मत कर मत कर मत कर. फिर भी आप चुप बैठ, मैं करूंगा. You don't know my problem, let me do. And why it is happening? Why this is happening? Very clear. It's only happening because of one thing, and that is our desire to enjoy, our desire to do wrong things. Same thing when you're going to the temple, when you're going for a satsang, when you're going for some puja or something, there is no voice from inside which is talking. You also feel happy. Yes, see, God, I'm going, huh? Consciousness also gives a thumbs up for you from inside. But same thing when you're doing something wrong, the consciousness says, don't do. It pricks you. And that time, what do you do? I give more weightage to my senses or my sense enjoyment, whether it is justified or not. That is why a virtuous man is always having a very clear mind. He knows, मैं जो भी कार्य कर रहा हूं, उसका मुझे एक ही फायदा चाहिए. And what is the one only profit we are looking out for, or the one only goal we are looking out for? Nothing else but achieving the Lord himself. Fulfilling Lord's desire to achieve Lord. And why should we achieve Lord? What's so wrong in this world that we need God? Many people have written books, retire God. We don't need God. For all our requirements, we have got Amazon and Flipkart. Of course, now Swiggy and Zomato is also adding in the list. So for all my requirements, in 10 minutes, my mother cannot cook. But Swiggy can deliver. It cannot cook, mind you, it's 6 months old, but you can have it in hot. So what does this mean? We have decided, modern people have decided, we don't need God. We got all things to sustain. But the problem is, birth is followed by death. But at the time of death, if one doesn't get one secret ingredient for which a human birth is given, and what is that? Liberation. मनुष्य जन्म देने के पीछे एक ही फायदा है, बाकी और कोई फायदा नहीं. I tell you honestly, no animals go to job. No birds. Have you seen any birds go to job 9 to 5, signing a muster, collecting money, and being sad? No, I can't afford an iPhone. I can afford only an ordinary phone. No feelings of that sort. So happy. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. 4 things. Focused. The only advantage in a human birth is getting out of the cycle of birth and death. और अगर हम जन्म मृत्यु के चक्कर से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं या कोशिश भी करना चाहते हैं, what is stopping us? Who is stopping us? Our own desire. Our own mind is our biggest enemy. That's why Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, Udareti atma atmanam na atmanam avasadhyate atma eva hi atmano bandhur atma eva hi ripu atmanah. Lord clearly says, इस दुनिया में अगर कोई आपका सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन है तो वो आपका मन है. It is your mind who is your biggest enemy, because it is not clear, it is turbid. But for a virtuous person, for a righteous person, the same mind is clear. The same mind has to be used to elevate one the spiritual world. Put it in more clear words. Just imagine. You want to study and go up in life with respect to education. Let's say you want to become an IITN, you want to become some big personality. How will you do that? आपको वन फर्स्ट आना है कॉलेज में, यूनिवर्सिटी में, whatever your studies you are doing, you have to use your mind, right? And you want to become an A-class very good terrorist, A-class gangster, Don. उसके लिए भी क्या यूज करना है? वही mind. So the ingredient is common. Whether you want to use it for becoming a topmost hero, I mean, highly educated, knowledgeable person, or you want to become a very much topmost Don, terrorist, whatever you call it, bad man. So common ingredient. So that's why Lord is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Udareti atma. Use your mind to elevate yourself. Don't use it for degrading it. And the mind is a storehouse of only, it's a go down of only desires. आप अगर बूढ़े हो गए हो, बड़े हो गए हो, बचपन में मैंने नहीं किया, आज जाके मेरी इच्छा पूरा करूं. Because that time I didn't have the money, I didn't have the resources to fulfill my desires, so I'll fulfill it now. And that's another problem. So the only secret of coming out of this cycle of birth and death is making our mind resolute on God and removing our mind from these worldly desires which have no end, like the waves of the sea. Let's say tomorrow one of you all wants to buy an iPhone. Few must be having, few may not be having. So जिसके पास नहीं है वो जाके लेगा. X model, whatever the model is, let's say 16, the latest going on, 16 Pro is going on. So is it going to be the end of it? No. Then by the time you come running home, the next mobile is launched. That's a tragedy in our world, You buy something, you have to rush home, because by the time you reach home, the new model is already launched. Be it be a car, TV, mobile, whatever it is, laptop, gadgets, anything you call it. How systematically we are being fooled, but still our mind is fooling us. No. Let's forget about God. Let's focus on worldly pleasures. So that's the reason why Valmiki is very specific. Oh, Bharadwaja is telling his Shishya, his student, this shore of clear water that looks at very beautiful. This clear water is pleasing as the mind of a noble and a virtuous man. So how many of us are wanting to desire to become a virtuous person? कितने लोग सोच रहे हैं चलो हम थोड़ा virtuous, righteous बन जाते. Righteous and virtuous को हिंदी भाषा में, सरल भाषा में साधु आदमी बोला. साधु का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप भगवा कपड़ा पहन के आप घूमते रहो, कुछ मत करो. No. In fact, when you have this spiritual knowledge, you become more resolute, more clear, and you know what to achieve, how to achieve, and at what time what to achieve. I'll put it a very simple calculation. People generally say, sir, if I become spiritual, na, my goal of life will go away. I might become, a dull-headed. I might, not have, active, I will not be so active in achieving my things. Please understand, before the Bhagavad Gita was recited or told by Krishna to Arjuna, Arjuna was a useless person. In the sense, what did he say? I don't want to fight. मुझे युद्ध नहीं लड़ना है, मुझे आराम करना. मैं साधु बनूंगा, मैं भीख मांग के रहूंगा. मुझे I don't want my own rights. मेरे को kingdom नहीं चाहिए. Why should I kill everyone? And after listening to the entire Bhagavad Gita, what happened to Arjuna? He became a hero. He decided, I will fight. Now I will go ahead and I will achieve my goal. I will follow dharma. At the same time, he became famous after listening to the Gita. So, many people come and tell me, sir, if I read the Bhagavad Gita, I'll become dull-headed, I'll not become, active, and friends will upon me. No, you're a fool. One who reads the Gita, one who reads the Ramayana, one who reads the scriptures, he becomes, in fact, more stronger and more productive in life. Keep this water pitcher down and give me my bark dress. I will certainly enter the best tamasa water. So he decided to enter the water to take bath. The noble-minded Valmiki, having thus said, the obedient sage Bharadwaja gave the bark dress to his spiritual master, his guru. तो जैसे गुरु ने बोला, चेले ने भी वैसे ही. Sage Valmiki, who had restrained senses, took the bark cloth from his disciple's hand and strolled around looking at the wild forest. Now, what is an important word which has come over here? Again, describing one of the quality of Niyat Indriyaha, restrained senses, जिसने अपना senses control रखा है. So what is the quality of Valmiki Muni? One who restrains his senses. And what is the quality we have got? But how many of us have got restrained senses? We only enhance our senses, push our senses ahead. Come on, develop your taste. Let's become latest. Let's become fashionable. Let's go with the trend. What is this? It's only upgrading your senses. That is going with the trend. Nothing will changes. Dal, chawal, roti, sabji is the same for ages. The sun and the moon, water, everything is the same for ages. Then what is new? The trends are. The new trends of eating, dressing, makeup, lifestyle, thought process, everything is trending. But what is not trending? Have you seen the sun trending? चलो आज बहुत दिन से मैं sunlight आज मैं orange color का देता हूँ, blue color का देता हूँ, green color का देता हूँ. Has the sun changed its color? Has the moon changed? No, I'll give some blue color, green color. They have got no holidays, no May days, nothing. Every day is working. God is working 24 hours by 7, 24 by 7. The sun and the moon is working 24 by 7. And last but not the least, the same water which our great grandfather was drinking, and we are also drinking. That's what we learned from science, right? Cycle, water cycle. So what is changing? And why is it changing? Because we cannot restrain our senses. Everyone is wants to have a different, unique sense pleasure. And what is the purpose of having this unrestrained senses? What is the reason behind it? Can anyone answer this question? Anyone?
Prabhuji, can you repeat the question?
Why are we suffering from this problem of unrestrained senses? Why we have got, we want some newness, variety, something new, something trending, something latest. For example, a gadget is there which is for receiving a call and making a call, but there we want some, photography, some tool for photography, this and that. Why are our senses not restrained? Why are we always want more and more? Our senses are seeking more and more sense pleasure. Why?
Because of our desires, because they are not stopping and they are also increasing.
No, that's not the full answer. Somebody else, try.
We are still, Prabhuji, we are still associating with the body and its pleasures.
Okay, fine, but we are inside the body, so we can't say no, I am not the body, I am the soul. You can't stop eating.
No, regarding
So,
that upgradation.
Your wife will stop feeding you from tomorrow. So how do you practically understand? Let's have a practical approach in this.
No, upgradation, like the thing can solve your problem, but you're looking at that versions, what you are like, you're trying to much better your life. That is what I like.
It's okay. Restrained senses. Why restrained senses? Why he is able to restrain our senses? Why we are not able to restrain our senses?
प्रभु जी मतलब दूसरों को दिखाने के लिए भी करते हैं कभी कभी, और उससे अच्छा हमारे पास रहना चाहिए. यदि उसके पास है तो हमारे पास भी रहना चाहिए, भी सोच रहती है.
Okay, something more.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Is it because mind
Yes.
is not under control?
Mind is not under control. Okay, fine. Then we got the answer, so we can control the mind. Why is it that repeatedly, right from childhood to the grave, every person, every individual, every living being desires, and his senses can't be restrained? Why? Please understand this. Very important. Most of the people don't understand this. Senses can never be restrained because that is their job. To give information is their job. The eyes, tell me, eyes is the senses. You go and ask someone who is having glaucoma. अरे आंख नहीं है क्या होगा? अरे क्या देखूंगा मैं, क्या पढ़ूंगा मैं, कहाँ जाऊंगा? How will I see the road? How will I cross the road? Who is there to take me to the toilet also? But that means what? The senses are important to give information. We are using it for wrong purposes. We are using the senses for wrong purpose. It is not the problem with the senses. The eyes never say, show me something beautiful. The eyes just inform whatever it is seeing, it informs. It sees a car going, it says, hey, there's a car going. It sees a lion going, it says the lion is going. Run away, whether the lion may turn and catch you. So you run. So it is giving information. We are using these senses to seek pleasure, but the senses are not made for any wrong purpose. Let's say our tongue, our nose. There is something burning in the house. Who will give you the information? Your sense only is going to give you information. The nose is going to give information. Oh, there's something burning in the house. A lady puts something in the gas and she forgets. मैंने सब्जी रखा था, अब जल गया. Then she realizes and she runs. Right? What does this mean? The sense is also giving you information. The sense's purpose is to give information. We are using these senses to take pleasure through them, and you can never take pleasure. And as long as you take pleasure from the senses, tell me, at what stage your senses are going to stop working? Does anyone want the senses to be stopped working? Eyes काम नहीं करें, कान ना काम करें, नाक ना काम करें. It's a big problem, no? If someone doesn't hear, you have to go and yell at his ears. Then क्या बोला पूछेगा. How irritating it is. Irritating for him also and for us also. What does this mean? Sense is not working. So these senses are meant to give us information. They are knowledge-giving senses. And we are using these knowledge-giving senses to get enjoyment. जैसे कान से आप भगवान की गुणगान भी सुन सकते हैं और कानों से आप कुछ भी भौतिक बातें, पंचायत, चिट चैटिंग, गॉसिपिंग, ये भी आप सुन सकते हो. मुंह से कर सकते हो, मुंह से आप भगवान का नाम भी ले सकते हो, बट भगवान से नाम की जगह पे आप चिट चैटिंग करते हो. Wasting time. So please understand, senses means they are to give you information, but we are using the senses for a wrong purpose to gain pleasure. कानों से अच्छा गाना सुनेंगे, आंखों से अच्छा देखने वाली चीज देखेंगे, जो आपके मनपसंद चीज हो वो देखेंगे. जीवा है आपको इंफॉर्मेशन देने के लिए कि भाई आप जो खा रहे हो खाने योग्य है या नहीं. You see any animal, the first thing it will do is smell. Any animal. Dog smell, cat smells, every animal smells. The bird sees its prey from a long distance, then swoops down to catch its prey. So we are also being given senses for a specific purpose, but we don't restrain them. We let the senses loose so that जा भाई जिबा जाके कुछ और खा के टेस्ट का मजा लेते हैं. Let's eat some rasgulla, let's eat some pav-bhaji, let's eat some momos, Chinese, Mexican, name it. Poor fellow, the tongue is only meant to give you information. ये खाने लायक है या नहीं. उसको हम लोग ने इतना डेड कर दिया है कि आज जो चीज खाने लायक नहीं है उसको भी हम उसके थ्रू स्वाद ले रहे हैं. Why should we take enjoyment in eating meat? We are taking enjoyment because the sense is not supposed to it, but we have converted our sense in such a way. ले इसका मजा ले. So that is what makes Valmiki Muni very, very important or different. He is a real sage. Why? He has got restrained senses. So he took the bark cloth from his disciple's hand and was strolling around looking at the whole wild forest. He was enjoying the beauty of the forest, and we'll continue next time. It's already 8:03, so we can continue next time.